Nu skal det handle om en agent med en meget specifik nummer. Ikke nummer 46, ikke nummer 49, men nummer 47. For det er blevet tid til den dejlige agent 47 med Hitman her på gamescom messen. Vi har nemlig fået en snak med en af hovedudviklerne bag, og det kan du høre lige her.
There is a world beyond yours. Beyond nations, justice, ethics. It never sleeps. It exists everywhere. And once you enter, there is no going back.
The Agent 47 in this game looks a lot younger than we've seen in like Absolution. What's the reason behind that?
So when you have a long-standing game series like Hitman that has been around for 15 years, eventually there comes a point in time where you have to ask yourself, do you want to see him in this suit when he's 95? Or how do we actually convey that? So he's a clone after all. What we wanted to do is we wanted to keep him fresh and appealing, and the game has been around for so long that eventually you need to take a little step back to make that possible. I don't know whether we overdid it. I also promised we listen to our fans and we listen to their reactions. Some people really loved it. We know some people really hated it. There's a lot of opinions in between, and we haven't absolutely finalized everything yet, so we're listening. Here at Gamescom we're listening a lot. It's like 300,000 people or 350,000 people coming. This is awesome, and this is what we want to be. We want to be close to the fans. And making 47 look like that is also a bit of a signal that now we took what we think is the best parts of the previous games, distilled it into this foundation, and this is a foundation for the future as well. And this role of assassination shall be a starting point, and this is why he looks like that, and this is also why we called the game plain Hitman, without any subtitles.
So it's almost like kind of a prequel.
It's not a prequel. Actually, the story takes place after Absolution, but it's not heavily connected to it. So it's, Diana is back as his long-term handler. He's now at the peak of his career. He's the world's deadliest assassin. He travels to exotic locations, and he has very rich and powerful targets. So it's actually the targets that are really challenging to get to, and that's just about right for Agent 47 in our opinion.
But it's still David Basin that does the voice, right?
The voice is David Basin, yes.
Time is of the essence. Viktor Novikov must be eliminated.
What would you say are like the biggest complaints you fixed in this game compared to Absolution?
That's a good question, because I mean obviously there were many things people liked about Absolution, like the visual style, the level of detail, the AI and the replayability of the game. But there were also criticism. For instance, Absolution, when you look at the whole series, was the most story-driven game. And that had some consequences, like the game became more linear. You couldn't play missions any way you wanted to. They were sequential to drive the story forward. And ultimately even peaked that some of the targets were taken out in a cutscene. And that is perhaps an entertaining game, but not necessarily where Hitman is strongest, because where Hitman is really good is when we have an open high-density sandbox where you can be very creative what you do and how you take out your targets. And this is what we brought back, and I think what we fixed very well. Another thing is that we took out the concept of checkpoints. Now you have a free save game. You can save anywhere in the level, which I know that our strongest fans will not do, because they don't want to save the game. But for people who also want to get into the experience, you can save and then tamper with the world, experiment, and if it doesn't do what you expect or you can handle, then you can load again and retry. So we think it would also encourage exploring the world that we are creating.
With Hitman being kind of like a Danish game, with the developer being in Denmark, will we ever see like a Danish level? Like something that happens in Copenhagen, for example.
I will not spoil anything of the locations and levels we're going to have in the future.
So you're saying there's a possibility for something to
I'm
happen?
saying there is always a possibility. And the whole point of having a world of assassination is that it's ever growing and ever expanding. And it will not be only one game, it will be more games. And obviously when we want world traveling to be such an integral part of it, Denmark is a very interesting location for traveling.
Welcome to a world of assassination.
Men det var min snak med udvikleren bag. Hvad synes du om det? Skriv meningen under kommentarfeltet som altid. Personligt så er jeg faktisk ret positivt overrasket over det. Jeg var ikke helt den største fan af Absolution, men jeg har nogle ret høje forventninger til, hvordan det her det bliver. Især fordi de ligesom udgiver det løbende, så de skal nå at tweak det lidt. Jeg ved ikke helt, hvordan jeg har det med, at han ser så ung ud. Jeg synes faktisk, at han ser lidt for ung ud. Og hvad synes du? Som sagt, skriv ned under i kommentarfeltet, og så ses vi næste gang. Og husk, du kan se meget mere Gamescom indhold her på Pixel.tv ved at bare gå ind på linket hernede i bunden, hvis du ser det på Pixel.tv. Eller du kan gå ind på Pixel.tv/Gamescom. Vi ses.